Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I have a hopefully special video to share with you guys today. Now, in the wake of the newly released Star Wars The Force Awakens movie, and due to the obvious absence of a certain Star Wars movie which I refuse to review, I decided as a good substitute, I would share with you my entire collection of Star Wars merchandise. So, starting with real simple, we have to go old school with the original trilogy, which I do happen to own on VHS. And for some of my younger viewers who don't know what a VHS is what we had before we had DVDs. As you can tell, they come in these little things that we call as cassettes. Now, you'll be pretty lucky if you can actually find a VHS player, but we actually do have one or two of them kind of lying around in the house. But I haven't watched these in many, many, many years. Now, going into my DVD collection, which sadly there's only one Star Wars movie I actually wanted to own on DVD, and that is, of course, Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, which still remains my all-time favorite Star Wars film of all time, as well as being one of my all-time favorite sequels, and probably one of the most watched movies I've ever seen in my life. Happy to own this. And recently, I was able to actually go out and surprisingly have a lot of difficulty finding this, except, not buying it online. I was actually able to buy all 6 episodes on Blu-ray and DVD, so that gives me like 12 discs here that even comes with all the special features. Now, going into the Star Wars video games that I own, sadly I don't have a lot of the physical copies of Star Wars video games I used to own that I had on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, which, trust me, after the travesty of the new Battlefront game, I wish I hadn't traded those away, but I was actually able to get some of them back. The two ones that I currently do own is the first and second Star Wars The Force Unleashed games. This one obviously being probably one of the best Star Wars games we've had in a long time. And this one being probably one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. I actually got the special edition version of Force Unleashed 2, which actually comes with a little Star Killer USB, I believe he has a 4 gig USB drive, so that's pretty cool. Going into some of the other little content that I own, I recently bought a Darth Vader style PlayStation 4, which this is actually my third PlayStation 3 that I own right now. And that little sucker came with a really badass looking Darth Vader style controller, which I recently added new little grips on the joysticks, but it actually fits quite nicely because it's a little bit wider than the buttons themselves, so that's pretty cool. A couple of the more recent merchandise I recently bought is, if you actually go to your local 7-Eleven, you might be able to find this, but I actually was able to buy all the little cups that they were selling. They're about like $10 each, so I ended up spending like $40 on cups, which, I gotta say, these are actually pretty, they're actually pretty nice cups. They're a lot, they're like pretty medium sized. I like how the straw has like this little stopper that, keeps it from coming out, so I really like that about these cups. Now, going into my Star Wars mugs, I only have 2 of them, unfortunately. I own Chewbacca and Master Yoda. These are like cocoa mugs. I've actually had these for a couple of years now, so I'm pretty sure that the cocoa packets in this are pretty bad. So if I ever do decide to open these up, which sadly this one was opened up a little bit here, I would just be using the mugs themselves instead of trying to drink the obviously expired cocoa. Going into another set of collectibles, I also own a Star Wars M&M dispenser, this one being Darth Vader. I do have a Luke Skywalker one over there, but I've already opened that one up, but I don't know, I guess I'll show you guys real quick. And that's Luke Skywalker. I think that's pretty cool. I bought these years ago while I was working at my previous job at Walgreens, so obviously the M&Ms in here are kind of expired, so I won't be eating those anytime soon. One other thing I do also have is the only Star Wars poster I actually am proud to own that I actually got I got like a 40 by 27 inch frame poster, and that is for obviously Revenge of the Sith. Love that movie, as I've said many times. And I think the next thing I have is about 4 Star Wars shirts. As you can tell, I'm wearing my Walking Dead because I hate the Ewoks so much, so I like that they're dead and zombies, because heck, I love killing zombies in Call of Duty. And the next shirt I have is I got like a Darth Vader shirt. I have a pretty basic but really cool looking basic Star Wars shirt here, and then I have I really like the color of this one. It's like hang on, it's like a TIE Fighter shirt, which not really my favorite, Star Wars vehicle, but, heck, I'll take what I can get. And I think the last couple of things I have are the lightsabers. Now, obviously with Revenge of the Sith being my favorite Star Wars movie, I had to get Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. I took the batteries out of these ones just because I like looking at them, and I've used them so many times it actually makes really, really funny noises, despite the fact that this one can vibrate when it hits something, and this one has this little button that allows it to turn from Anakin Blue to Darth Vader Red. So that's pretty cool. I'm hoping to get replicas of these ones very, very soon, although I know they'll be very expensive. But I think the most recent, aside from the Blu-ray movies I recently bought that I purchased, which is probably the most expensive Star Wars item I own, is my own personal customized lightsaber that I got from Saberforge. It doesn't do any sound or vibrations, but I'm hoping to do that with Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber when I do eventually find them and order them. And it comes with, my favorite color of, green. So that's pretty cool. And I believe, apart from that one and a couple of downloadable PlayStation games I have on my PlayStation 3, which involve Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, Star Wars Pod Racer, Revenge, and I believe the original Super Star Wars that came out on the Super NES that I've played on my PlayStation 4 and my PlayStation Vita. That should be about all of my Star Wars content that I can think of right now, but I certainly will be buying more in the nearby future. And with that out of the way, I hope you liked my Star Wars merchandise collection, and if you like this video, remember to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check me in my future videos. And like always, thank you guys for watching, you're awesome, and may the Force be with you.